FNN Nation, welcome and welcome to this episode of FNN. This is the place where we tackle cultural issues, giving them faith-based insights. So if you're new here, karibu sana. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel where you can get to watch more powerful and impactful videos. Also join us on the comment section, on the chat section. Chat us up. Tell us what you think about the topics of the day. What insights do you have about the topics of the day? What's your favorite meme for the day? And let's have an amazing time. So let's get into today's episode.
Welcome viewers, my name is Firebrand Michelle. Welcome to Firebrand Nation News. I'm excited to have you join us. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're watching us from. And on set today, I am joined with wonderful panelists. They are my friends. You have seen them many times. Kama kawaida, kama dawa. But they always have something fresh, something new to say. I will start by introducing them first. We are not only friends, we are also family. So I'll start with Firebrand Mom.
Yes, hi people. Kama dawa. Yes, my name is Firebrand Betty Muzarika, or you can call me Firebrand Bomb. I'm excited to be here. Enye tunafaa kwa shule, but tunashukuru Mungu tuko hapa. And I'm excited for what you're going to do today, what you're going to be discussing, taking these problems, these challenges, and giving you biblical solutions.
Amen. Firebrand Kevin.
Okay, thank you. Kama dawa. Firebrand Kevin here. I'm excited to have you and let us engage. Yeah, let us have a meaningful discussion.
And finally, Firebrand Joshua.
Yo. Joshua Joe right here, and I'm excited. Today is another episode, and as we usually say, we bring the problems, but above all, we find the solutions. Karibu sana.
Karibuni sana. Allow me to do this. Bomb is a wonderful model. Pastor Kevin here is a civil engineer. Sijui kwa nini wajisemei.
Because we knew she
Time
would.
and time again, you always have to say who you guys are. Like lazima raia ijue.
We don't like bragging.
And Firebrand Joshua Joe is an amazing musician. So before we dive into an amazing topic, we'll go straight to the memes. Memes za leo manze.
Hey.
As I'm just scrolling down to them, there's just one. Pale high school ukiombwa kangumu. Let me tell you, ayayaya bahati mbaya. Then you know what is most annoying is the fisi picture. Because I don't see what a fisi has to do with kangumu, honestly.
I mean, I'm blessed. Ayaya, but
Have you seen the video how it looks like?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like seriously.
Yeah, but
alafu limekuwa tu kwa mdomo.
The funny part ni, I can picture who's saying this. Ayaya.
Like in a sound code, like when you hear it sounding in your ears.
Yeah.
Gori.
Firebrand Charles, we love you. We love you.
But those things in high school. Break times and belly mering ya kurudi class. Unaambia msee ni aje buda. Anarusha hata kwa mdomo.
But hizo vitu nadhani zilikuwa high school kupunguza speed yao. Sio hata there is a speed yenye tungefula nayo.
I agree. I completely agree. I don't think kuharakisha it doesn't happen. Seriously.
It doesn't.
To the second meme. That moment you see your boyfriend who promised you an iPhone in the market dancing to him. Where is the lie? Everyone starts by comparing the prices of an iPhone and dancing to Indomie.
Maybe akona anaweza kuona iPhone lakini anajibamba.
Labda kuna phone nyingine yenye ni kali sana inaitwa Indomie.
But actually, because kuna week or so, it could be. Because kuna phone inaitwa week or so, it could be.
Angalia venye angalia your
You
explanation.
know, right?
Unajua
That
explanation ni
expression is
gani?
hilarious.
I know.
Unacheki kwa Bible, venye Bible word inasema ati my expectation shall not be cut off.
This one
Hapana,
Expectation
lazima
has been
my expectation before my eyes.
Right. It's-
Hadi yako.
What should you do?
Just a good text, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. Wow. Ukipata na kuprank.
mimi nitamjoin tuteshi na hiyo.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah.
That's
That
it.
is it.
That's it.
But you see, Firebrand Bomb is a foodie. Oh, okay.
Ah.
Tukianza kuongea mambo ya
Food,
food.
foodie.
Where is the evidence?
I mean, honestly, we will not do this on show.
Yeah?
We will not. No, we will not do
We
this
have
on
we
show.
have evidence. I have evidence.
Exactly, we won't do this on show.
I have evidence.
The third week, bro, usiringe ati una date dem ameokoka kama aliwacha dhambi wewe ndio ndani.
Manze.
Boychan, utawachwa. Huyu dem aliacha dhambi.
Manze ni deep man.
Hata wewe atakuacha.
Wow.
Kwa hivyo wewe ni dhambi.
In short anaweza wacha kitu. Kama anaweza wacha
dhambi.
hivi.
Na venye honestly, dhambi inakuanga tamu.
Dhambi ni hard kuacha.
Exactly.
Kama aliacha dhambi. Boychan.
Wewe ndiye nani?
Who you?
Boychan.
Utaachwa.
It's over.
Utaachwa.
It's over.
The fourth one.
I like this.
Babe, niko meeting. Watch I finish my presentation. Call you presentation means you.
But mi sioni kama like hakuna lie kwa hiyo ajamdanganya in
Which presentation? Which one?
See, he's going to present himself before the masses. Ama
Alafu anaambia babe mgani
Yeah, exactly.
labda nyinyi mmesoma
No.
vibaya. Labda ni babe,
Babe,
lakini nyinyi
committee.
mmesoma babe.
Watch
Try to finish my
I think babe,
presentation.
hakuna, it's B-A-B-E, that's babe, either way. Babe niko meeting, watch I finish my presentation, call you back, miss you.
Si ndio?
So what I need to understand, is he the groom? Because ziko meeting gani?
Yeah, he's the groom.
The groom.
He's the groom.
Ngori, zaidi ya noma.
But si ameenda kujipresent. Mimi
Yeah, and
have no
I don't know.
But unajua hizi ni zile inakuanga. Usipomwambia, huwezi mwambia ukweli. Juu usipomwambia hivyo atakuja kushow up kwa hiyo wedding.
sure.
And you don't want that. Mwambie tu uko meeting,
Lakini
I'm doing a
unajua-
presentation.
No.
Look at this scenario. Amekoliwa mwenye amemkola kwa hiyo window.
Right.
So anamuona tu.
Exactly.
Anamuona
Niko
tu
meeting.
uko wapi? Unafanya nini?
Alafu being a group unafanya nini na simu? You know the women are usually king. So no, when you're in the middle of the honeymoon, you like I heard you. Nani huyo?
Yeah.
Lakini si alimwambia I miss you. So at least roho itatulia. Au sio?
Na by the this guy is just mas hata hajasema I miss you. Amesema tu miss you. This one ile ni unasikiaga that you don't really have, like, honestly, you don't always have to say the truth. But at least
You have
don't
started
lie.
undertones, no way.
But at least don't lie. Una get?
When I put the eye on, it's still missing.
No,
you either,
no.
you know.
It doesn't
You've
look
already
like
started
that. Ni kama nikwambie, let's assume Jogoo Road. Jogoo Road inaanzia Donholm all the way to Stadium. So naweza kwambia that niko Jogoo Road. Donholm. Naweza kwambia niko Jogoo Road Stadium. The distance is very different.
You're thinking
Kama Mombasa Road hapa hivi mali na connect hapo hivi kwa
Ukiingia tu Mombasa Road.
ama Mombasa Road in Mombasa. I'm not lying, but I'm not telling you the truth.
We are not doing this.
I miss you.
Hey.
Kisha.
We are not doing this.
Manzi.
And to the most last name that I need to be explained, si makosa yangu. Jirani yangu aliibiwa mlango. Leo Nana ako na ingine imeandikwa from 3 East.
Whoa. Hey.
Akona ingine imeandikwa from 3 East. I love this.
You were right, even if
You got it. You got it.
Yes. Sasa umepata sasa. Hey. Kwanza this meme is just on another level.
I think it's the best meme.
For me, this one wins it hands down.
Wow, I finally get it.
Kenyans.
Hey.
I don't know
And that's hands down the most epic meme. Seriously. For the fact that I've actually gotten it on set, it's actually awesome.
I know.
Now we can move on to the next subject. At least now we're ready for taking over.
Yeah, from me.
I thought to read from one west.
From one west.
So saizi kuna shule imefunguliwa natafuta mlango wa uni.
Exactly.
But you're from the east, yes, sorry.
Yes, we're sorry.
Guys, to all those from the east.
Alafu devotion sermon ya hiyo asubuhi Isaiah 45. That the Lord shall open. In fact, he shall destroy. He will cut off the doors. Hey.
Moving forward swiftly.
Swiftly.
On today's topic, it's a very, it's actually weird how we've just switched to the Bible. Anyway, let's switch into the next topic, which is something that is actually going on currently, and it's very disturbing. So the LSK plans to move to court over the new security measures for public gatherings. To explain a little bit, last week, a couple of rules were given, a couple of measures were given for gatherings, and the one that stood out the most, because it's actually public gatherings, is before you have a gathering, and the meaning of a gathering is basically a couple of people meeting together publicly. So some of the measures that were given were you're supposed to tell the police, so the OCS gave the measures, you're supposed to tell them what time you're meeting, where you're meeting, and the duration that you're meeting, so that we keep people up to speed before we dive into the topic. So the LSK yesterday said that they're going to move to this issue to court. What's your take on it? Let me start with the wonderful lady, Firebrand Mom.
Yes, thank you, Firebrand Mitch. It's Niko bado from the list. To serious matters now. It's really interesting. LSK and Nelson Harvey is an interesting person. LSK plans to move to court over new security measures for public gatherings. I really don't understand why this came up. I'm not sure if it's because of COVID, because I don't see any connections with COVID.
Right.
I'm not seeing any concerns with security because I don't see any connections with security. I think that this just came up because of the campaigns that are going on. We are seeing politicians campaigning to come 2022. So I think that is why they talked of public gatherings. But the problem is they did not consider these gatherings they're talking about.
Right.
Let me just talk about students going back to school.
Yes, today.
That's a gathering.
Right.
Why lie? Personally, I have a class on Wednesday and it's a common course.
Right.
And we are over 100 people. That's a gathering.
Right.
So one of the measures is that we're supposed to have told the OCS of that area 3 to 14 days before you meet.
Right.
And this OCS is supposed to attend the meeting so that they can enforce these measures. They ensure that you're adhering to the directives. So my question is, Niko, your class, OCS atakuwa class
East.
from Greece. OCS atakuwa class mimi. Honestly, they are good measures, but I don't think the motive is right, and I also don't think they are practical. We usually talk about the theory part and the practical part.
Yes.
Things are easier said than done.
Right.
But then, is this practical? We are services are gatherings, sindio?
Right.
So services zote tunafaa kukuwa na OCS, morning glory included. And we should be telling them tuko na hii, tunafanya hii, we are discussing this. I really don't think this is practical. That's my take.
To argue on that, for example, we have 12 services per week. So we're actually saying that the police should be here for 12 services.
Yeah.
And we need to be telling them 3 to 14 days prior. I really know. Firebrand, Kevin, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think the measures, primarily, if the measures were, let's say, they were implemented, but they were enforced when the COVID season was like starting,
Right.
they could have made sense because they could have said that they are trying to regulate it.
Right.
But now, what is apparent is, if you look at it from all angles, it appears as if it is not targeted towards the general wellness of the people,
Right.
but instead it is like a gagging, like it's the police or the authorities are using it to gag people,
Right.
because when they tell you that before you gather, you are supposed to notify the authorities, and notifying them is not the problem, because even previously, even when we wanted to strike, although we just call it a demonstration, we notified the police.
Right.
And there is nothing much that they did other than just coming to tear gas you. So whatever, like even the measures that saying that you need to notify the police, for me, I think it's just a method of gagging people, so that when you think of the process, you just like unakufa moyo.
Right.
Because if you're told that for you to get 1,000 bob, you need to spend 1 million just to get that, so you just
slow
unatulia.
down.
So for me, I think it's just a method of controlling people,
Right.
telling you that I am the person who need to call
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
I agree. Firebrand, Joe?
Well, thank you, Firebrand Michelle, for this opportunity. I just don't. I don't want to be salty about this whole thing, but my question would be, why now? Why now? Let's go to the basics. Firebrand Betty has always told us that it's good to ask questions. We should always ask questions.
Right.
So the question I would ask is, why do we do this thing now? And what came up so that we came up with this announcement of the public gathering? And actually there were three. They said public gathering, a social media thing,
Yeah.
and then the reporting of the media, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So this came after the Moranga thing, what we discussed here a few days ago. After the Moranga demonstration,
Right.
that's when they said for any gathering, political or public gathering, you have to inform the OCS. Now, the irony of it is we are seeing the same state holding meetings,
Right.
and they are not. They probably did not inform the OCS, because since the announcement we've seen gatherings,
Right.
and not even 3 days, not the 14 days, but we've seen the state. So it looks like if the state is having the public gathering, then that's not an issue. But when it's the other side holding the same public gathering,
an issue.
then it's an issue, and that doesn't make sense. It looks like we have different divides,
Right.
and it looks like we have discrimination. So for me, I think the move by LSK is the right move,
Yeah.
and I support the LSK move to court to stop these announcement. And also my other argument would be, this is denying people their fundamental right, that is the right to assemble, the right to gather. That is denying them without really in the name of security and protecting them. You get, because a common Kenyan, you want to tell me if I have a family function, family, it's a public gathering,
It is.
Yeah.
right?
It is.
So I should notify the OCS
Yes.
that
3 to 14
Ah,
days.
3 to
prior.
14 days
Yeah.
prior.
Tuko na
Yeah,
mkutano
understand?
mzee,
Yeah.
unataka
Tuko na bash. You get?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes sense.
And if that's the way to go, then it needs to be done to every Kenyan,
Yeah.
regardless of what political affiliation they have.
Yeah.
Then it needs to go that direction.
It needs to
Yeah,
go
it needs to
across
go
the
that. Yeah, it needs to go across the board.
And so just to add to what they both said
Yes.
is, I feel like another problem is that I want to have a gathering with with friends and family and all that.
Right.
And we are discussing private matters.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I call an outsider to come and see if we are following measures? Honestly, people are following measures. Like, we all want to be safe in terms of COVID and all that. But I wouldn't want to call a stranger to a meeting where we are discussing private matters. Makes me wonder, what do they want to know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We asking questions, right? What do you want to know? You know,
Right.
why would you want to be in our family meeting or our family gathering
Right.
or whatever gathering for that matter? Why do you want to know what you're going to discuss? Why?
Yeah.
And maybe just to add,
Yeah.
I think the burning part of this whole thing is this thing. As much as these measures have been put in place, just a week from now,
Yes.
you will see people gathering. Even if it's like the prominent people, they will gather, and then they will say, you will see the police there protecting them, not enforcing those
Right,
those laws.
right.
They will gather without any notification. People just ride. They just they cruise across the streets. They stop. People come. They address them, and then they go. No notice or anything whatsoever. But no measure will be taken against them. But when one person, if it's like just a Kenyan,
Right.
someone who does not have any connections with, or positions in the government, when they try something of the sort, you find that they are like wana window ile hadi unakuja kutolewa kwa nyumba, just because of that.
Yes.
So for me, I think all these measures, they are just out there to, mi naona ni kama wana try ku excite spirit ya Kenyans. Na for me naona ni kama the end itakuwa so bad, because we are at a point here in Kenya where people don't even obey the laws, not because they don't want to obey, but because the people who set the laws, they don't even obey them.
Right.
Because I cannot tell you don't do this. I'm just telling you. It's like, and it's not, I'm not attacking anybody, but it's like a parent telling you that don't drink, but then wanakam kama melewa, and then they expect you to follow the words, but not to follow the conduct.
Right.
It might be that it's a struggle they have, but they should not condemn you because of that, because our walk in that path.
Right.
So for me, I think the government is like trying to tell you that wear mask. Me honestly, hata nimekuwa nikiangalia even kwa the images that these guys are in public gatherings, there is no mask. But if you just walk here in town, unapata watu wameshikwa.
No social distancing.
Hakuna social distancing, no mask, no everything. And then you are telling the people that we need you to follow these rules, that if you don't follow them, hii kitu utakuwa arrested, sijui utakuwa fined, utakuwa prosecuted, utafanywa sijui nini ama nini. And them themselves, they are not following it.
Right.
So you come and wonder, is it really, like, is this disease really true? Ama is it immune to this kind of people?
Yeah.
Ama are they using it to justify, ama to hide something or to justify something? So for me, I think the danger in all these things, and I think LSK is doing the right thing, just to go there so that at least to get the motive right. After you should see his policies, the motive, because it is going to, one of the things that itafanya Kenyans were more rebellious, and rebellion, we know, is a very bad thing, and that is something that we really don't want.
Right.
And just to add on what my colleagues have said, I think it doesn't sound right at all when different organizations, different bodies, you can wake up and call shot and decide on something. A police boss will wake up and decide no more gatherings.
Right.
And it's like it's being enforced. Health CS will wake up today and decide you can't go out without a mask.
Let me just
and it's enforced.
And education CS will wake up and decide tomorrow you're going to school.
Tomorrow you're going to school.
Ama this one which is very insane, that someone wakes up and asema that all Nairobians will be expected to participate in cleaning.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. And then it's not a request.
Yeah.
It's not a request, it's a demand. So it sounds bad to enforce and just call things on Kenyans. As CS wakes up today and decides schools are reopening.
Yeah.
Tomorrow someone else stands and they're like, Nairobi has to be clean and it's a must.
Right.
I think that's I'll call it nonsense to Kenyans. It's a nonsense that they're bringing it to the
You need to
citizens,
sanitize.
and I need to sanitize. And it's something that needs to be condemned with the strongest terms possible, because Kenyans are tired of such.
Yeah.
You can't be waking up and deciding for Kenyans. You can't wake up and decide to go into people's accounts and decide what they should post.
Right.
You can't walk to a media station, media house, and decide you shouldn't report this and this.
Right.
You get?
Yeah.
So I think such things should be, and all this is all political, because if I'm not for the government, if I'm not for the state, then those measures apply to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Even for the during the COVID season, if I'm for the state, I'll assemble people, will gather without the social distance, without the mask, and everything will be okay. But if I'm not for the government, if I'm not pushing the government agenda, then I get arrested because of violating the rules, the guidelines.
Right.
You get? So I think there's someone out there, or there are people out there who are taking Kenyans for granted.
Right.
And it's time Kenyans wakes up and decide this nonsense has to come to an end.
Yeah.
I agree.
Has to come to an end.
And my question on that would be, where did the rain start beating us?
Yeah, where did the rubber meet
Like,
the road?
there is because everything has got a source.
Right.
And if you look at it, all these things is a culmination of people taking sides, because at one point we were in one, like, whatever Kenyans. I remember the 10th parliament when before Kibaki retired, there was a very malicious law that the MPs had, where all the MPs, if just as long as you are an MP, you are entitled I'll call it an inheritance, but it's a retirement package, which was almost 25 million.
Right.
You are entitled to a state burial, and so many goodies, houses, and all that. And I remember that it was signed at the midnight hour. It was not broadcasted. These guys met, regardless of the political side they were. They met and they agreed that this thing. It's only Kibaki who saved us that he did not sign.
You know, saying that.
So, if you look at it now from that point, it came after the elections and all that. We got to a point where people are so much divided in that a law, when it has been said by someone from my tribe,
Right.
I take it as it does not really apply to me, but it's out there to oppress the other person. And the moment, and the politicians know, let's be honest, these guys are smart. Wamesoma the book, 48 Laws of Power. They know how to control the people.
Right.
So once they did that, for me, I think once they did that, we got to a point where we are so much divided as Kenyans.
Right.
But them, they are divided in terms of political parties, but in terms of the interest, they are very united.
They are united.
So now they have amassed so much power that they can set such a rule, and they don't even care whatever Kenyans are going to say, because they know that the Kenyans will just be silent. So for me, I think we really need to go back to the basics. Kama tunaweza, we can just unite. I can tell you that we can do exploits.
And
Yeah.
to borrow you on that, going back to the basics, I have a question. Are the police overstepping? Because we know the police are supposed utumishi kwa wote.
Right.
But based on the discussion we've had, they take rules differently. Like, it's not across the board. So what's your take? Are they overstepping? We have this in mind, utumishi kwa wote.
Tumishi kwa wote. I think I'll go back to my previous statement. The police will do according to the caliber.
Right.
Like, if you are for the state, then you're guaranteed your protection. If you're not facilitating the state's agenda, then you will be tear gassed.
Yeah.
And we've seen it. We're not mentioning
Tear
names,
gas
but
mandates.
everyone knows what is happening. Everyone knows, and we are not supporting any. We are not having any affiliation.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the police will always overstep when they come and find, because the police also, I think they follow the commands, the rules from their bosses.
Yeah.
So if the boss says it's time to use violence, they'll be the ones to use it.
Yeah.
But if they say protect this and don't protect this, again, that's exactly what they'll do. So my take would be the police will act according to their bosses. So their bosses should hear this and sober up.
Sure.
And just know if it's utumishi kwa wote as you're saying it, let it be utumishi kwa wote, the great
Yeah.
and the least.
Yeah, I think we wait for LSK to go to court and we see how it goes. But we all are in support of what Nelson Avi and the team are doing. Wisdom. The Bible says wisdom is calling out from the streets. It is free of charge. We need to be wise in these things because if the court rules against, we need to follow these measures.
Right.
We need to call the OCS and all that. But now the problem comes in when, as Firebrand Kevin said, a number of people are untouchable.
Right.
They do what they want, meat and all, nothing is done to them. Then there's this other side, munakula tear gas. And then fahali wawili wakipigana, nyasi ndio inaumia. So sisi wenye tuko huku chini, ndio tuko na family gathering, tutaumia, tukiita OCS kuja sikize vitu zenye haziwahusu. So I really think we need to be wise in this matter and again unity as a nation, because where we are headed, a lot is coming up with the elections. I don't know, second wave, fifth wave, whatever. But we need to be united as a people, and it goes back to our leaders.
Right.
If they are not in oneness, then sisi bado tutaumia. I think we really need unity as a people, and when these teams or these corporate groups come and make certain decisions, they shouldn't be making these decisions because of what they want or what they are going to take to their pockets or for their own personal benefits.
Right.
They should remember we are a nation. We are Kenya, we are one. They should do that remembering that common mwananchi, if this will benefit them or not, if they can adjust or readjust or whatever. But they shouldn't be making some laws because they feel like it. Namka, I've decided you're putting on masks. I've decided,
Right.
They should consider the people. They shouldn't consider the individuals. They should consider the people. Yeah.
Kevin?
And maybe just to add that, it's important because as a nation we are heading, it's just about a year. Actually it's just a year and we are heading to elections.
Right.
These are some of the things that we really need to take into account. You see, we normally pray, and I can tell you that Kenyans do pray. If like the roofs of the houses were taken, were removed, and then God gives you an ability to see the kind of the number of people who are praying for this nation.
Right. Yeah.
Millions, not thousands, millions. But then you wonder, is it that they are praying with the wrong motive? Is it that they are praying to the wrong God? Is it that they are praying to not mentioning the right terms or using the wrong version of the Bible? It narrows down to whatever Firebrand has said, wisdom. Regardless of how much wisdom you have,
Right.
if you are poor in the society, you will not have any say. And poverty does not really mean just material things.
Right.
Even the word of knowledge by itself is wealth.
Right.
Is wealth. So as we near the elections, because this whatever we are seeing, like everything that we are seeing here, is just a culmination. In disaster management, there is something that always comes out, that disasters don't just happen. It's a chain of critical events.
Right.
So it's always a chain of, so whatever we are seeing right now, even in Kenya, and it's not just in Kenya, even in Nigeria. In fact, in Nigeria, it's even worse. There is this special, I think it's special anti-robbery service, police, who are killing people. And right now, Nigerians have demonstrated so much until the unit has been dissolved. You get the power of unity.
Yes.
So if we just choose that we are going to elect leaders,
Right.
we are going to elect leaders who are going to spearhead us to the next level. Leaders who are not influenced by money. Leaders who have got ethics.
Right.
For me, I think that one will help us so much, because if you get someone who has got I always take the Bible as the strongest foundation that you can ever have. If you take someone who has got strong biblical foundations, and you elect them in determinant positions, especially someone like the president, someone like a governor, especially for key what's it called, counties. For key counties that control the financial resources, it's important, because if you have someone who just wakes up and they make an emotional law, we are going to suffer, and there is nothing much that we are going to do. So for us, I think it's a plea that if you are there out there in leadership, and you really feel that God has called you into leadership, don't hold yourself back. Go implement these changes. As we always say, whatever Firebrand Bomb said, ask questions. Hakuna mambo sijua tunakaa unaambiwa ati fanya hivi and then ni sawa. That thing is going to land us into trouble.
Yeah.
So for me, I just think that if we just reorganize ourselves na tukam tujiulize ni wapi tunataka kwenda and who can take us there. Using that approach instead of who do we have. Tunakam kuuliza and politicians are very funny.
Right.
They will come with the same promises in ziko hapa. 2022. The same ones zenye zilikuwa kama mwingi. Tunangojea lami, tunatekewa lami. Maji itatengenezwa, stadiums, security itakuwa improved, free. We already know.
Right.
But they have never come to ask us. By the way, some people don't even want education. Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be
no,
honest.
Kama umetengeneza shule mali watu hawataki.
Right.
Watu wataitumia kama place ya kugraze ng'ombe.
Right.
So I think we need leaders. Basically, all we need is leadership, because whatever is happening here, it is just apparent that we have been failed in terms of leadership.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Our time is so much gone. Kindly give your last statements. I think I'll begin with Joshua Joe.
Yo, time was really.
It's really flowing. It's really
fluent.
It's fluid. Anyway, my parting shot would be still on the same, supporting the LSK move to bar the move by Joseph to limit, or rather to the gathering thing. And I think that's the best move, and I would urge every Kenyan out there to support. If you can tweet, if you can, whatever you can do from where you are, just raise your voice and do not allow yourself to be oppressed. So as a Kenyan citizen, this is our country. We will not allow ourselves to be oppressed, or we will not allow ourselves for anyone to wake up and just impose rules on us. We have to raise our voice. Either we will tweet or we will get to the streets, whatever we can do, but we will get our voice heard. Yeah.
Firebrand Bomb.
Yes, to add to what Firebrand Joshua Joe has said, my final remarks are we need to go back to the drawing board. And then you've seen what has happened this past 10 years, almost 10 years, as we get to 2022 elections. Put the right leaders in place, elect the right people. Don't just elect people because they gave you a handout or they paid you off. Do it because of what you know is going to be beneficial for us as a people, as a nation. And about these directives that are coming up, we need to be very keen in asking questions and in doing the right things, because one thing for sure is that they affect us in one way or the other, whether directly or indirectly. We have a constitution, we are a democratic nation. Let us adhere to the constitution. Yes.
Firebrand Kevin.
The Bible says that when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice.
Right.
So all I'm appealing is pray for the right leaders, but most importantly, vote for the right leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Your comments, your opinions, really wisdom. Like, we've really had wisdom. Thank you guys for watching. Welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to follow us, and remember to follow us on JBN Television on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next Monday, same time, same place. God bless.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you would like to join the Firebrand Nation movement, go to our website at www.firebrandnation.com, sign up and someone will get in touch with you. Also follow us on our social media handles at Firebrand Nation on Instagram and YouTube, and Firebrand and Firebrand Nation KE on Facebook. Remember to love God and love